Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Thursday is our art history day, as you know, while we're out of school. So today we are going to run through our vocabulary and our flashcards. We are going to talk about the featured artist that we talked about last week. And we are also going to talk about the art project I'd like you to complete this week. So let's go ahead and get started with our vocabulary. You guys have these down pat, I'm sure now. So what is that one, friends? Glue. Yeah, and if you want to be really specific, it's a glue bottle and a glue stick. You are right. That one is a crayon. Here we go. We have paint, a marker. Good job. All right, these ones we used recently, they're kind of like a crayon and chalk mixed up. It's called pastels. Good work. And this is where we put all of our artwork so we can hold it all in one place. It's called a portfolio. What about that one, friends? You're right, it is a statue, but there's another word for statue that we use called sculpture. Good work. And we use these at school and sometimes at home to paint on. An easel. We use this one outside. Chalk. Good work. This one, kind of like Play-Doh, a little bit tougher to work with. Clay. And we have pen and ink here, pen and ink. And we've got some people painting. And what are you when you paint? You are an artist. About that one, friends. Paintbrush, you are right. A pencil, good work. All right, here's a tricky one. Paint. Palette. Good job. And our trickiest one, color. What do you think that is? We always say it kind of looks like an umbrella. It kind of looks like a beach ball, but it is called a color wheel and it's got 3 parts to it. And the first part is primary colors. The second part is secondary colors. And then the third part has a really long word. It's kind of hard to say. Tertiary. Let me say that together. Tertiary colors. All right. So last week we talked about an artist who worked on some comic book style artwork. And do you remember his name? It was Roy what? Roy Lichtenstein. He's got a long name, so don't blame me if you don't remember it. Here is Roy Lichtenstein, and you can see right here is an example of one of his pieces of artwork. So he did a lot of artwork like this. This kind of looks like it would be in a comic book panel, right? So when you do something like this is a special kind of word. It says P-O-W, pow, right? So when we have words like that the word itself sounds like the action that it's explaining, that's called onomatopoeia. So onomatopoeia, when we talk about that, we talk about words like pop, because when you pop your bubble gum, it makes that sound, pop. And we talk about things like honk, like when you honk a truck horn, it's like honk, kind of sounds like the sound that you're describing. Same with a car, when you beep the horn, it's beep, 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 beep. Another good one is knock. When you knock on something, knock sounds like that word. Or if you tap. So when we tap on stuff, tapping kind of sounds like the sound. Another good one is splash. So when you drop something in water, it splashes. So there are quite a few words that you could use to be an example of onomatopoeia. So last week we read Roy's House, which is a book about Roy Lichtenstein's house and his art studio. And you might remember there were some yellow chairs and a really big sofa, and he had some snacks ready for his friends. And all of his artwork is done very much in the style of comic books. A lot of little dots and lines run through all of his pictures to add texture to them, which means it makes them look a little fuller. What I would like you guys to do this week, so you can kind of mimic Roy Lichtenstein's style, is I want you to take a sheet of paper like this, and I want you to cut out a shape like this, okay? And you can cut out a couple of these in different colors, and you can lay them on top of each other and make it look like a really big action. Or you can just do one and put it on a really bright colored sheet of paper so that it pops out. And then I want you to pick a word that you think is an example of onomatopoeia. And you can use one of the ones we used. You can use pop or splash or honk or beep, whatever you'd like. But if there's another word that you think of that you think might be a good example, I want you to use that one. And you can ask mom and dad how to spell it, and they can write it out for you, and then you can copy that on there. Or they can tell you the letters, and you can write that on there yourself. Now, I know this shape looks like maybe it would be kind of hard to cut out, but what do we always say in art? We don't say that we can't do it. We always try. Okay, so I want you to try on your own to cut out a shape like this. It made it easier for me to draw it first, and then I was able to cut and follow the line, so that might be a good way to do it. If you get super overwhelmed and frustrated and you really just don't know how to do it and you really need help, it's okay, you can ask mom and dad, and I'm sure they would be willing to help you. So for the oldest kids, my green lambs and my blue lambs, I want you to work on this. And I want you to cut this out yourself. You can do it. I trust you. I know that you can do it. And then I want you to write that word on the front of it. And like I said, you can cut a couple of these out and glue them all on top of each other so they look like they have kind of a background. Kind of similar to this one. You see there's more than one layer to that. Or you can just put it on a brightly colored sheet of paper. For my younger lambs, so for the 2-year-olds and the 1-year-olds, the yellow and the red lambs, I would love if your parents could cut out a shape like this, or draw a shape like this, or print one off from the internet onto a sheet of paper for you. And then I would like you to continue practicing painting with your pencil eraser. So I want you to imagine this is a pencil, dip it in paint, and then put it on your sheet of paper. And I want you to work on that, practicing that pointillism that we talked about last week. And then for my infant classroom, if you guys want to do an art project, I would just have a shape like this drawn or cut out on a sheet of paper, and then encourage your child to finger paint with that, and you can even help them do the finger pointillism part of it if you'd like to get them some experience in a tapping motion. All right, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out, email me. I will send out my phone number too if anybody needs to text to ask about anything. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Next week is the week of the young child, so there will be tons of activities sent out to you in a resource kit. And one of those activities is a photographic tour of our art studio. So you can take a look. So kiddos, you can definitely look through that and point out to mom and dad where you like to do your artwork and what you've used in that art studio. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Happy Easter. Bye.